Today's topic is the linear congruence. In the previous topics, already I explained about congruence. Here, the two variables A and B are called as congruent to modulo some n when the remainder of A by n and B by n is same. If the remainder is same, when dividing A and B variables separately by n, if you get the same value, then we can say A is congruent to B in modulo n. Here, the topic is the linear congruence. So, linear congruence means we have the two types of linear congruence. Single variable linear equations, we have the two types of equations generally, single variable linear equations and set of linear equations. If we have an equation like this, A is equal to AX is congruent to B modulo division of n. If the equation is like this, A, some variable A into X is congruent to B modulo n. This equation may have a solution or may not have a solution. If it has a solution, it may contains more than one solution also. Sometimes an equation, it doesn't contains any solution. Any equation in this form might have no solution or a limited number of solutions. How you find out whether a solution contains whether an equation contains solutions or not? For that purpose, we can calculate. If we calculate the greatest common divisor on the variable A and the modulo value n. If the greatest common divisor of variable A, that means this variable and this modulo n, the GCD of A comma n is equal to D. Assume the value of GCD A comma n is equal to D. What is the D here? D is the greatest common divisor of A and n. What is A? What is n? A is this variable, n is this modulo n. So, the greatest common divisor of A comma n is assumed as the D. Now you can check whether the equation has a solution or not by using the D value. Suppose if you try to divide the B, you try to divide the variable B by D. If D divides B, if the value D divides the variable B, then we have the solution. It is indicated with like this. If D, this symbol B means if D divides B, if D divides B, then there are D solutions. That solution has the D solutions. If D plus B means if D is not divides B, then there is no solution. So here only two things. First to find out the D value, D is nothing but greatest common divisor of A comma n. That is the D value. Now divide B with the D. If D divides B, then it has the D solutions. If D is not divides B, then that equation has no solution. These are the two things. Now, what is the procedure? If the equation has a solution, what is the procedure to get this solution? For that purpose, first reduce the equation, whatever the given equation there is there, reduce the equation by dividing both sides of the equation, including the modulus, by the d value. Very simple thing. So if the equation is like this, first divide the left hand side and this variable and this n by the d value. Divide the left hand side and the right hand side of the equation by the d value. That is the first step. Then multiply the both sides of the reduced equation by the multiplicative inverse of the a to find the particular solution. So what is the uh, procedure to get the particular solution? Generally any equation has two types of, if it has the solutions, it can have the a particular solution or it can have the general solutions. Okay, to find the particular solution, multiply both sides of the reduced equation by multiplying inverse of the variable a. Already you know the a value. Then find out the multiplicative inverse of the a variable and uh, multiply both sides of the reduced equation by the multiplicative inverse of the variable a to get the particular solution. If you get the particular solution, then the general solutions can be obtained like this. The general solutions can be obtained. Some variable x equal to x naught, that means already you find the x naught plus some k into n by d. Here k value is, it can be the 0 to d minus 1. That means first k value is 0. That means substitute k equal to 1, k equal to 0 first and found the x value, and substitute k equal to 1 and found another x value. Substitute k is equal to found another x value. Like that up to the last k value is d minus 1. So these are the general solutions for the given equation. Any equation, if it contains the solution, then it is possible to find out the particular solution to the equation, and we can also find out the general solution. This is the way of solving the equation. Example, solve the equation. This is the, assume this is the congruent symbol. 10x is congruent to 2 mod 15. So here a is 10, this is the given equation. A is 10, b is 2, this b is 2, this 15 is assumed as n. So a, this can be assumed as a, this is b, this is the n. Now find the d, greatest common divisor of a and n. So greatest d is equal to greatest common divisor of a comma n. This is equal to GCD of 10 comma 15. This can be written as GCD of 15 comma 10 reverse. So this in the first step, GCD of this 10, and what is the remainder after dividing 15 by 10? 5. Then this is equal to, write down this 5 here. What is the remainder of dividing 5 by 10? It is the 0. So finally we have the 5 value. So this is the greatest common divisor of 10 and 15, the d value. Now try to divide this d value 5, divide the b value. What is the b value? B value is 2. This is the 2. Divide that b value to the 5. Now 5 is not dividing the 2 because it is the 2 by 5. So it is here d is not dividing the 2. That's why this solution, this equation doesn't contains the solution. So you can say this equation doesn't contains the solution. Try another example. Now solve the equation 14x is congruent to 12 mod 18. So here a is 14, b is 12, and n is 18. Now GCD of this a and 18, GCD of 14 comma 18 is equal GCD reverse. Write the biggest value here, then small here. So swap both values. GCD of 18 comma 14. This is equal to GCD of 14 comma remainder after dividing 18 by 4, 4. Now this can be written as GCD of this 4. What is the remainder of dividing 14 by 4? 2. Now this can be written as GCD of 2 comma 0. This 2 first, remainder after dividing 4 by 2 is 2. So finally the GCD of 14 comma 18 or A comma N is 2. This is the D value. Now D equal to 2. D is equal to 2. Now check whether this equation has solution or not by dividing B by D. Here B is 12. That's why 12 by D value 2. So 2 divides 12. 2, 6, 12. That's why this you can say this solution has two. This equation has two solutions, D solutions. That means two solutions. How to find out the first? Find out the particular solution. So how to find out the particular solution? The given equation is 14x congruent to 12 mod 18. Now in the first step, divide the both sides by the D, including the modulo division. So here 14 divided by 2 is 7, 12 divided by 2 is 6, 18 divided by 2 is 9. So after dividing, the reduced equation is this one. After dividing this equation by 2, 7x is congruent to 6 mod 9. Now multiply this equation both sides by the multiplicative inverse of the 7. Multiplicative inverse of the 7 is 7 inverse. Assume this is the 7 inverse. So the 7 inverse value. What is the multiplicative inverse of the 7? Multiplicative inverse of the 7 means if you multiply the 7 and 7 inverse, you should get the 1 value. So what is this? Is 7 inverse. After multiplying the 7 with the 7 inverse, you should get the 1 value. So after already you know how to find out the multiplicative inverse. The multiplicative inverse of any number can be found by using extended Euclidean algorithm, that is the tabular format. By using the tabular format, put the Q, R1, R2, R and T0, T1, T. Like by using that table, you can find out the solution, multiplicative inverse of the 7. Here after the multiplicative inverse of the 7 is 4, because suppose the multiplicative inverse of 7 is 4, 7 into 4 is equal to 28. If you modulo divide this with 9, since it is the 9 modulo divide 28 modulo divide 9 is equal to remainder 1. So it's 7 into 7 inverse equal to 1. That's why 7 inverse value is the 1. 7 inverse 1 is the 1. So finally, so if you multiply the given equation, the left side and right side with the multiplicative inverse of this 7, so this is 7 inverse 7 into x naught. This is assumed as 7 into x naught. So this is 7 into x naught. Multiply this with the 7 inverse. This is congruent to 6 into 7 inverse mod 9. 7 inverse into 7, its value is 1. That's why if its value is 1, then x naught equal to 6 into 7 inverse mod 9. So 6 into 7 inverse mod 9. 7 inverse value already I told you 7 inverse value is 4. So 6 into 7 inverse mod 9 equal to 4. That's why the 7 inverse value is 4. So finally x naught equal to 6 into 4. 6 into 4 mod 9. This is equal to 24 mod 9. what is the remainder after modulo dividing 24 by 9? It is 9 to 18, so 6. So x not equal to 6. You can find out the things. So 14 into 6. 14 into 6 is congruent to 12 mod 18. So 14 into 6, it is 84. It is 84. This value is 84. So 84 modulo division with the 18. Then you will get 12. Then 12 modulo division 18. It is the 12. So 30. So this 84 by 18. That means 3s. 18 3s. 18 fours. 18 fours. 18 fours is 70. 44. It's 32. So 72. So this is 72. Remainder is 12. That's why the particular solution for this equation is x value can be the 6. Now find out the general solution. General solution. To find out the general solution, we have the equation x equal to x naught plus some k into n minus d. Here the k value can be from 0. At first time it is 0. Substitute 0 here in the place of k, then 1, then 2, like that. So here we have the two solutions only. That's why, because since d equal to 2, put k is equal to 0 and 1. If k is equal to 0, its value is 6. Substitute x equal to x naught. That means 6 plus 0 into this 0 into something 0 is equal to 6. If k is equal to 1 means x equal to x naught. That means 6 plus 1 into n by d. N by d means already n value is 18. D is 2. That means 9. 6 plus 1 into 9. It is equal to 15. So the general solutions for the given equations x equal to 6 and x equal to 15. These are the two solutions. Like this, we can find out a particular solution or general solution for the given equation. And in the linear congruence, if we have the set of linear equations, okay, if you have been given the set of linear equations like this, set of given equations in this format. So these are the x1, x2, these are the variables, a11, a12, and these are the coefficients. So if the equation is, if the set of equations are like this, just you can convert this, you can rewrite these equations in the matrix form. Here you can divide these equations in 3 matrices format. Matrix 1 is the square matrix. Matrix 1 is the square matrix, which is made with the coefficients. That means a11, these a12, like this, a21, a22. These are the coefficients. This is the matrix, which matrix 1 is the square or rectangular matrix, which contains the coefficients. Matrix 2 is the column matrix made from variables. Variables means here we have the variables x1, x2, x3, like that. So we have the different variables x1, x2, x3 up to xn is equal to this b1, b2, bn. This is the third matrix. So the given set of equations can be rewritten as 3 matrices: coefficient matrix, variables matrix, and after the equal b matrix. By using these 3 matrices, you can find out these x1, x2 up to xn values by using x1, x2 from these 3 matrices. X1, x2, x1 equal to, this one is written as A inverse into b1, b2, bn. So here x1, x2 up to xn can be calculated by using this formula. Example: consider these 2 equations. 3x, you have given 3x plus 2y is equal to 5. and 4x plus 6y is equal to 4 mod 7. This is important. So rewrite these into the matrix format. What are the coefficients? 3, 2, 4, 6. So this is one matrix, 3, 2, 4, 6. Then what are the variables? X, y. This is another matrix. What are the b values? 5, 4. This is another matrix, and mod 7. So these two equations are rewritten as three matrices. From these three matrices, now xy is equal, this xy is equal 3, 2, 4, 6 inverse into 5, 4 mod 7. 5, 4 mod 7. Let A is equal 3, 2, 4, 6. Its A inverse equal to, you know how to calculate the A inverse. A inverse equal 1 by determinant 3 into 6, 18 minus 8 is equal to 10. So 1 by 10 into this minus 6 here, swap this one, and then 8 this one. So 1 by 10 into 6 minus 2. So this is the A inverse matrix. This is the, its value is this one. A inverse is this one. Now xy is equal to, so how to find out the x value? This xy, as per this equation, xy is equal to 3, 2, 4, 6 inverse matrix. That means A inverse matrix. That is the A inverse matrix is this one. That means 1 by 10, 6 minus 2, 4 minus 4, 3 into 5, 4 matrix mod 7. So this is the xy value. Now xy values are this one. This is equal to this 1 by 10 here, as it is 1 by 10. Then multiply these two matrices. 6 minus 2 minus 3, 5, 4. If you multiply these two matrices, you get this value, 30 minus 8 minus 20 plus 12. Then its value is 22. Its value is minus 8. So 1 by 10, okay, as it is 1 by 10. After solving these two values, it is 22 minus 8 mod 7. So this is equal to, multiply 1 by 10 with the 22 and minus 8. So 22 by 10, it is minus 8 by 10 mod 7. So x equal to 22 by 10 mod 7, y is equal to minus 8, 10 mod 7. Now check whether these x and y values are correct or not by substituting these values in the given equation. So first x equal to 22 by 10. Substitute here 22 by 10. Substitute y value here. 2 into y value is minus 8 by 10. So 3x plus 2y is equal to 5. You should get, after substituting x and y values here, you should get this result. So check. So 3 into x is 22 by 10 plus y is 2 into y is minus 8 by 10. This is equal to 66 by 10 minus this one. This is equal to 5. After solving this one, 66 by 10 minus 16 by 10. What is the answer? 66 by 10 minus 16 by 10. What is the answer? 50 by 10. So 50 by 10 means 5. 50 by 10 means we get the 5. So 5 mod 7. Now check the second equation. So 4 into x value 22 by 7 plus 6 into minus 8 by 10 is equal to 88 by 10 minus 48 by 10. It is equal to 40. 40 by 10 is 4. So 4 mod 7. So the x value is 22 by 10 mod 7. Y equal to minus 8 by 10 mod 7. So this is the way of finding the x and y values when we have the set of equations. So this is the linear congruence. Another example for a set of equations is if we have been given two equations, 2x plus 3y is equal to 5 mod 8, x plus 6y is equal to 3 mod 8. Then matrix format of these two equations is 2, 2, 3, matrix is 2, 3, 1, 6, 2, 3, 1, 6, variables xy, and this 5, 3 as b1, b2 mod. So if you wanted to find out xy matrix and xy values is equal to 2, 3, 1, 6 inverse into 5, 3 mod 8. Now 2, 3, 1, 6 minus 1 inverse is equal to A inverse is equal to 2, 6, 12 minus 9, 1. That means 1 by 9 to negative 1, 6 to 2 minus 1. So A inverse is equal to by 9, 6, 2 minus 1 minus 2. Now xy is equal to A inverse 1 by 9 into this one with this value, then 5, 3 mod 8. Now multiply this 2 by 2 matrix and this by 3 matrix. To multiply these two, multiply this matrix and this matrix. So 6, 5, 30 minus 9. That means 21. 30 minus 9. Minus 1 into 5. That means minus 5 plus 6. Minus 5 plus 6. So 1 by 9 into this one. 30 minus 9 is 21. Is 21. It is 1. So x equal to 21 by 9 mod 8. Y equal to 1 by 9 mod 8. We can check these values by inserting x and y values in these two equations. So the first equation is 2x plus 3y. This is equal to 2 into x value 21 by 9 plus 3 into 1 by 9. This is equal to 42 by 9 plus 3 by 9. That is equal to 45 by 9. This is 5 mod 8. So 5 mod 8. If you substitute x and y values, we are getting 5 mod 8. Then consider the second equation, x plus 6y equal to x value is 21 by 9 plus y equal to 6 into 1 by 9. If this is equal to 21 by 9 plus 6 by 9 is equal to 1 by 9 is equal to 3 mod 8. So these are the x and y values. X value is 21 by 9 mod 8, y value is 1 by 9 mod 8. So this is the way of finding the x and y values. So first write down these equations into three matrix forms. First coefficients 2, 3, 1, 6 one matrix, x, y variables another matrix, this 5, 3 is another matrix. Then to find the x, y value, send this to here, that means 2, 3, 1, 6 inverse into 5, 3 mod 8. Then calculate the A inverse matrix, then multiply it with 5, 3. Then we are getting x and y values are like this. Substitute these values in the. This is the way of finding the